Well, welcome back to the Carbon Oasis. This morning I planted out, or transplanted, the 7 strawberries. There are 7 in there. One's hiding up the back, not doing very well. They're going into fresh soil, which is why I'm hoping they'll boom ahead. This was the soil that came out of this raised bed, and I'm about to do what I call the soil progression shuffle. I'm on a very small area, 0 budget, so I reuse and reuse and reuse. Now, it just so happens that the strawberries were in these containers. Now I have 3 of them. That's going to allow me to build a far bigger worm farm than the one that I had. That, if you remember, was there, caught fire. There's the remains of it in the barrow. Now this has been in a fire with plastic, so I'm not happy about that. So I'm also going to be progressing that into what I'll call an amelioration stage, just to try and make sure that there's not too many toxins in it by the time I put it back. So it's going to, that pile in the barrow is going to live in there, where I'm going to work on it, as I've worked on clay soils there and all sorts of other things as well, as you would know. So at the end of then, oh yes, so that's part of the story. The second part of the story is this big pile here is mainly ash. It's going to be evened out over this, and then I'm going to work in the soil that was over on that bed, the soil that's been in here, 2 batches of soil to work in the charcoal with. And because I'm accumulating a rather large pile, I'm going to supplement that lot with layers of collected dog poo, and then let it sit for a year. Now after a year that should be absolutely fabulous, but it does mean I need to find somewhere new to put my worm farm, and it just so happens that right in here behind that mushroom that I'm going to remove is a lovely spot that's shady, doesn't get afternoon sun, won't get too hot, and because of the structure of the system won't really be worried about what's growing around it. So that is where the new worm farm's going to be, and this shuffle might take me a while. If I was younger I could do it in a day, but I'm not younger. Anyway peeps, that's an update for now. I might put bits on the end of it if I get further down this process. Peace, love and light, people. Oh, welcome back peeps. This is one of the containers I mentioned before that had the strawberries in it, but it's not yet going to here. This is where I'm going to build a soil making pile a la Sarah Lee, as in layer over layer over layer. The plan you would have seen flash up as text before this clip started. If you want to record it or make note of it, just go back and pause in the middle of when it's up there. So I've taken it back to bare earth. There's a thin layer, as you can see it's not thick at all, 4 centimeters maybe at most, and here's the rest of the charcoal ready to go into the soil making mega sandwich. So, I'll get back to you when something else has happened. Peace, love and light. Welcome back, folks. This is the second or third, depending on whether you count base soil as one layer of the super soil stack. This is the very sandy soil that came out from where the strawberries were in. And that means it's freed up these three beauties that, even stacked to their minimum, stand higher than the other one, but they will stand far higher when they are set up. And over the back of those beds you can see a big pile of sheep manure that's going to fuel at least the first two layers. I might have to go and get some more. Peace, love and light, people. One layer of very gloopy, lumpy dog manure, kind of carpet bombed or thrown around. Next layer, charcoal. Okay, so that barrow obviously is missing quite a lot of charcoal, which is now positioned here. And now we're ready for the next layer, which is the soil that came out of the raised bed prior to the new mix and strawberries going in. Yep, the soil progression shuffle continues. Right, so that's one barrel load of the soil that came out of the raised bed prior to the new soil and strawberries. Back soon. And a thin top dressing of more dog manure. On to the next layer. And another layer of charcoal. Then some more soil, as we will see soon. And yet a rather large barrel load of the soil that had come out of the raised bed. And now for the next layer. Layer, up a layer, up a layer. And now a peppering of only the highest quality dog manure. Charcoal to follow. And so now the final top layer, which is soil out of quite a few large pots. Mainly had tomatoes in them that were fruiting, so they were big pots. So now this stack is being built, and as you can see, it's about 40 centimeters from the top to the bottom, but it's probably about half a meter down to the bare soil. So I'm going to sit there and let nature do its marvellous work. And if this doesn't produce good soil, I'm really going to have to go back to the drawing board. Anyway, I still haven't set up the worm farm. I haven't got enough energy left. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Peace, love and light, people.